And we're still in our communities talking about some of the problems and trying to help them find solutions with their problems that they are grappling with. And right now we are heading to the central region. Potsin T.I. Ahmadiyya Senior High School with over 3,000 students that are trying to learn. But it's actually not working. The environment is actually working against them. And this is an infrastructural problem. The classrooms are not, right for the students to learn, even though the teachers, the staff are trying hard to put together their efforts to give these students the right education. Everything isn't just working because of the lack of the right infrastructure. Anyway, we are heading to the central region, and Calvis actually has a report on that. So let's watch it, and when we come back, we'll be having a discussion on it, and of course, talk to the right people that can help fix these problems.
Established in 1972 by the Ahmadiyya Muslim Mission Ghana under the Nusrat Jahan scheme, Potsin T.I. Ahmadiyya Senior High School initially operated as a day school before introducing boarding facilities in 1974 to accommodate students from outside the surrounding towns and villages. Currently, the school's infrastructure is struggling to keep up with its rapid growing student population. City News has learned that the lack of an assembly hall often forces school authorities to hold meetings outside. Assembly halls typically serve as overflow space during examination periods, but for Potsin T.I. Ahmadiyya, the absence of such a facility means students must manage with the existing classrooms during examination. The situation is further compounded by the lack of on-campus accommodation for teachers, making it challenging for school authorities to maintain discipline, especially during evening study sessions. Students have also voiced their concerns, emphasizing the urgent need for a more conducive learning environment.
We need modern equipment for our science lab to enable us in our academic work. Also, we need a dining hall, though we have a dining hall, but it is not that modernized for us to feed inside. Yeah.
The school library, the science laboratory, and also help expand our staff common room to make it very convenient for teachers to find it very easy to teach us in the school.
Every institution is faced with problems, and Potsin T.I. Ahmadiyya is no exception to that. Among our numerous problems, the school really needs assembly hall. It's very challenging if we have school gathering. Students have to take the benches out, sometimes use the dining hall, all those things.
To make matters worse, the school's reserved land for future development is being encroached upon by certain traditional authorities and individuals believed to be land guards. The assistant headmaster in charge of academics, Haruna Apia Nuruddin, elaborated on how the development could negatively impact the school.
You will find that the land that was donated to the mission for the establishment of the school, the size that was donated at the time has reduced because there has been a lot of encroachment. But you will find that because they want to encroach, they bring in people to protect the land that they have acquired, even though it is illegal for them to be able to do so. When you ask the people who buy these lands, they tell you that they bought them from the traditional authorities. And when you confront them, you will find that they are the same people who have given out to them. And so if they are able to stop whatever that they are doing, the land could be used for the intended purpose.
Meanwhile, Central Regional Minister Eko Penyi Ochre Edumwa, an alumnus of the school, has pledged to mobilize support to address the institution's infrastructure challenges.
There are structures there that has not been completed. We ensure same funding projects must continue existing projects instead of beginning fresh ones. So I think that we'll look at that, and I promise them we are not trying to be discriminatory here, but I want to promise them that we'll do all that we can to ensure that they get what is due them.
School authorities at Potsin T.I. Ahmadiyya says encroachment activities is having a toll on teaching and learning.
The school is also complaining about infrastructure challenges, which they urge the public to support them. Carvis Tete, Channel One News, Potsin.
All right, that's a report from Calvin Tete, our Central Region correspondent, and of course our colleague. And yeah, we've seen what Potsin TI Ahmadiyya SHS looks like, but we have Haruna Apia Nuruddin, who's the assistant headmaster at Potsin TI Ahmadiyya on the line, and we can get to talk to him. Hello, sir. Okay, it's not on the line yet. But then, what are your thoughts about it? Because like the only thing I'm here thinking is, how do we expect these kids to, you know, make the best out of this situation? How do we expect them to get good grades? How do we even expect the teachers to feel comfortable and still share the knowledge that they have to share with these kids?
So imagine you are in class and you know that your dormitory is not that well. Maybe there is a downpour and the water would get into your dormitory. You are going to dine. You don't have a quality environment. The dining hall is in a poor state.
Even the classroom.
The classrooms are also in poor state. So it will make life very difficult for them. Just yesterday, we had a conversation on the whole technical institute where the water shortage issue was, where an authority from the institution spoke and made mention of the fact that this is affecting teaching and learning.
But no, because you see, for anything to thrive, you need a conducive environment, okay? What are the kids in the school for? To learn. They should not be burdened with the headache of wondering
what my classroom looks like,
what my classroom looks like, where I am going to sleep, in what condition am I going to eat, in what condition is the food being prepared. It should not be my burden. My total focus should be on the consumption of the academic material that I will be presented with, and not worry about infrastructure. I am a student.
Yeah,
you get it. I should not bear the brunt of inadequate infrastructure in any school.
Right. Anyway, we have the assistant headmaster on the line, Mr. Haruna Apia Nuruddin. Hello, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, madam.
How are you? You are welcome to Breakfast Daily.
I'm very fine. Thank you.
All right, so can you describe the state of the infrastructure at Potsin TI Ahmadiyya SHS?
Yes, Potsin TI Ahmadiyya SHS was established in 1972 and we celebrated our 50th anniversary in 2022, and a school that is a little over 50 years with a student population of almost 3,000 cannot boast of an assembly hall. So whenever we have any gathering, we do it outside. And so you will find that whenever the weather is threatening or the sun is very scorching, we cannot have an assembly for that matter. So assembly hall complex is one of our greatest challenges, where if we were to have the assembly hall complex, we would have been able to write our final exams easily there. But because of the absence of that particular facility, we need to use a classroom. And using the classroom means that following the WIAC standard, where we have a normal classroom supposed to take about 30 candidates, you will need more classrooms to be able to seat these final year students. And so it makes it very difficult for us to also continue with instructional time with the other cohorts that will be in school while the final years are arriving. We also find that we do not have a dining hall. What we have is a mixed structure where the students actually feed, run shifts for the dining, making it very difficult for us to reduce instructional time for the students.
Right.
I was going to talk about others. Science laboratory is non-existent. What we have is also a classroom converted. A library complex is non-existent. What we have is a roomless library where, looking at the population, it cannot fit about 20 students. so if you want the students to do meaningful academic work, it becomes very difficult to be able to do that.
Right. So have you reached out to the Ministry of Education or the District Assembly about this problem?
We have written several letters through, with the GES, because we need to follow the structure of communication. Last year, we even wrote several times to the Minister of Education through the District Directorate, the Regional Directorate, and then the GES headquarters, and all to no avail. We were even challenged with debt. Our students were not having enough debt to sit on, of which we wrote and did. The PTA did videos trying to send it into the social media, but we had to plead with them.
Right.
So we wrote to the headquarters, GES, Ministry of Education, for them to come and assist us. And as we speak, they have not responded to our plea. It is the Ahmadiyya Muslim Mission, Ghana, that had our plea on the deck and came to our aid and supported us with a number of debts as we speak now. But so with the debt situation, it's still a challenge for us.
Right. Okay, so when you say they have not responded, do you mean that after sending the letter, they did not come, or they actually said, we will be there, and they are not yet here? Which one is it?
They have not even come back. They have not replied the letter.
Right.
We have gotten the letter, and that will really send people to come and look at the challenge. But for us, with the GES, every time we send reports to our superior, and these reports are in there every time, and they come with the free SHS. They come round to come and inspect, to infrastructure, the ongoing projects, and so on and so forth. But when they go, nothing comes out of it.
Right.
Get also sent a delegation to the school to look at the Get Fund project that are stalled. They came 3 years now, nothing has come out of that.
How many students are we looking at in your institution?
A little over 2,700, almost getting to 3,000.
And with the infrastructure you made mention of that you do not have, dining hall, among others, what do you have in the school as we speak now?
We have a dining hall that is a converted structure. And so the students are going on a shift for the dining. And then if you take the library, it's a roomless library, a classroom that has been converted into a library that is to teach the students. And then if you look with the science laboratory too, the same thing. It's a converted classroom. So it is not fully furnished such that if you want to really do meaningful academic work compared to the other schools in the country, you would want to get a best. But with all these challenges, we're still doing our best in all that we needed to do.
Wow. So with the issue you are facing now, though you've spoken to the various authorities, the GES and all that, what has been the recent action you've taken to ensure that this problem is solved, looking at the fact that there is a change of government?
What happened was that when the Central Regional Minister was appointed, we were so elated because he's an old student. And so if you look at most of the secondary schools we have in the country now, it's the old students who are assisting. The little contributions from them and their, how do I put it? Some of the their lobbying skills assist the schools in getting some projects to the schools. And so when they came, we said, okay, now that he's the regional minister, we hope that he will use his influence to be able to let the attention be on Potsin Senior High School, so that we'll be able to get some of these infrastructure that we are lacking. We have some store projects even in the school. Dormitory, administration blocks that were started so many years ago are stalled and it's not been completed. And these are all challenges that are inhibiting the progress of the school. We wrote to the district assembly to be able to assist us. All the things that we write, as we speak, some of it has never seen the light of day. The DCE, former DCE, happens to be an old student. So sometimes we are very sad about some of the things that happen. While other old students are helping their institutions, in our case, the old students, instead of them coming to the institution to assist us,
right,
it is very difficult.
Now, you have close to 3,000 students. That's about 2,700. How many dormitories do you have, and how do you split this, the students among these dormitories? Because it's both male and female, right?
Yes, please.
So how do you do it? How many dormitories do you have? And how do you split it amongst the students so that you ease the congestion?
With the inception of the free SHS, where the double track came into inception, at any point in time, we were doing the double track. Now we are doing the transition. With a double track, you will find that the final year students will be in school, and then either gold of the Form 1 and the green of Form 2 will come. That was a double track. So at any point in time, you have two streams, two cohorts coming into the school because of the infrastructure problem.
Right.
You will find that with the transition as we are practicing, what happens is that instead of having a part of Form 1 coming and a part of Form 2 coming to join the Form 3, now the Form 3 will be in school, and then the Form 2, all the Form 2s will join them. So the Form 1s will be in the house. And so that is what is helping us to be able to manage with the facilities we have. Because if all the students come to the school, we cannot accommodate them. That's how we are doing the transition and not having a single track, as some schools are practicing the single track.
Right. So you are doing this transition based on your own peculiar circumstance?
No, this is a nationwide program from the Ministry of Education.
Which ultimately will result in the single track?
That is what we are hearing from the minister now, setting up a committee to see to that.
But from where you stand, you are not ready for a single track, are you?
If we are to move into a single track, then it means that we will need classroom blocks, we will need dormitories, we need masters bungalows. And one of the challenges we have with the population, as I speak about, you will find that the teachers who are to stay on campus are only the house staff. And look at the number that they need to monitor, supervise and monitor, especially with adolescents, male and female, especially in the night when they are having prep. It becomes very difficult. So because of that, the schools have to strategize such that with the challenges that come with these adolescents mixing together and all that, we don't even prep together. We separate them when we are prepping so that some of those challenges with a few staff staying on campus to be able to monitor the activities on campus.
Well, so before you go, you have a big platform, ChannelOne TV, Breakfast Daily. Your word to the authorities, maybe Honorable Aruna is also watching, so you may want to tell them what you have for the authorities and what you demand immediately for the school.
Okay. Thank you very much for the opportunity given to the school this morning. We are very pleased with ChannelOne TV when they first aired some of our challenges and then do a follow-up this morning. We want to appeal to the Minister of Education and all stakeholders to come to the school and assist us with our challenges. Because if these challenges are addressed, I promise you that we'll be able to do more than we are doing now. In the midst of all these challenges as we are going through, if you look at our performance and our school improvement plan as we are implementing with all these challenges, our authorities will tell you that we are doing well. And so if these challenges as we have spoken about are addressed, you will find that Potsin will be one of the best schools in the country with the years to come. So we want to plead with them to have their eyes here. Potsin is just close to Accra. Many of our students from the catchment come from Accra, Kasua, and its environment. And so you will find that getting a boarding facility from, apart from Accra, they will have to now go to Winneba. So between Accra and Winneba, Potsin happens to be one of the boarding facilities you can get, especially for Muslims, because it's an Islamic school. And so all who will not get from Accra and will have to move away from Accra, the best stop is at Potsin TI Ahmadiyya SHS. And so we want to plead with them to be able to set their eyes here. Let their lenses be here and come and assist us with our challenges. The stock areas should be completed and the facilities we do not have should also be provided. Teachers' quarters, assembly hall, science lab, and all the things that we have spoken about should be addressed for us. And we hope that will be the best.
Thank you.
Haruna Apia Nuruddin, thanks so much for your time. He is the Assistant Headmaster Academics for Potsin TI Ahmadiyya in the Central Region. And not to forward, this is interesting because ideally, you know, school authorities do not speak when it comes to these things. But for the Assistant Headmaster to be very loud and vocal about this problem, that means it's really having a toll on them. And
no, he deals with a challenge on a daily.
They've held it for a very long time.
Parents have brought their children from wherever and handed them to my care. I have the ultimate responsibility to make sure that I am dealing with their cognitive, their health, their safety, their security. But the infrastructure or the environment given to me to be able to take care of all this does not permit me to. You get it? So you can understand the situation the assistant headmaster is in. His level of frustration, like he said, even in the midst of all these challenges, they are doing something well. Because, I mean, a teacher, and I say a teacher with emphasis on the word teacher, a true teacher is dedicated and committed to the well-being and of course the cognitive upbringing of every student. And so in the absence of a conducive environment to do so, he is frustrated. He wants to go all out, give his all to educate the child.
Nana, just hold your thoughts there. We will come back to you. But the region in which the Potsin TI Ahmadiyya School is the Central Region. We have the regional minister joining us on the line, Akopinin Ochre, who we understand is also an old student of the place.
Very well.
Yes. Right. Honorable, good morning.
Morning, sir.
I trust you are doing well.
Good.
Have you seen the current state of your school?
I have been there. I know it.
And what do you have to tell us about this? Is that how it was when you were in school yourself, in that institution?
Yeah, so you can't compare. First of all, thank you for the opportunity. I want to thank your producers for having me. Except that I'm in black. You will recall that 3 days ago, a police officer got drawn when they had to go and look at the activities of Garapes in Athens Central. As I speak with you, I'm on my way to the family, and that I kind of down because I sanctioned that operation. In any case, I thank you for the opportunity. Yeah, so you wanted to know whether the status of the school at the time I attended is just like this. It cannot be because I attended to 1986. The school was just about 14 years old. So it cannot be. Some kind of improvement has gone on. Nevertheless, I would not also say that always. And so having been there myself as a student, I appreciate all that we are going through. And number of you wanted to know what I can tell you about the school. I can tell you plenty things, except that we do not have time. But I know they are going through a lot of challenges. While a member of parliament, I promised them I was going to do a few things for them, which few things. member, my regional minister. The issues are on the table, but the infrastructure deficit in schools in Central Region are something that is worrying, and I'm doing my best to make sure we can fine-tune them to ensure that our children have conducive environment to go through their studies.
So with a focus on the Potsin TI Ahmadiyya, what has been the engagements like with first the school authorities and also authorities that are mandated to ensure that at least we get conducive environment to study and learn?
Yeah, so I come from Potsin. My house is just opposite the Ahmadiyya Secondary School. Most of the engagements have not been that formal. With the issue of encroachment, I've engaged Nananum. So that is an issue of engaging Nananum, and we are ensuring that we regularize their documentation to avoid further encroachment. So that's it. I've also engaged the headmistress and the assistant headmaster in charge of academics, Mr. Nuruddin, recently when they called me for the issues concerning the dining hall. I call it complex hall because what I plan to do is to give them a complex hall where they can have a lot of activities there. And so I've been to that fund. I've sent my proposal there. In the complex hall proposal, I was forced to get some 2 dormitories for them. But the issue is we still have uncompleted structures there. And I think that we need to complete the existing infrastructure before we start anything, especially where the program is coming from. Same source. For instance, if GET Fund wants to initiate a project at a school, I think that we need to complete the existing project which is being funded by GET Fund. So we can, and they agreed with me that there are few dormitories, few classrooms that they can assist us to finish so we can initiate a new one, which is the conference for things that we are talking about.
Very well. Now, Honorable, as an old student, we know that you're committed, you're worried, you're concerned about seeing the upliftment of the school. You've just spoken to us about your engagement with the school authorities, some formal, some not so formal. I just want to find out, because in recent times, we've seen the power of alumni associations and old school or old student associations. I want to find out if there's something of the sort for the Potsin TI Ahmadiyya and what level of engagements have gone on for students or people who have benefited from the school to come back and give back to the school.
Yeah, I'm opening a chapter for that. It appears that there are few issues that we cannot talk about it on air. Few issues concerning the old students. Some are, raising issues of, I don't want to talk about that, but they
very well.
Notes of it, yeah. And so I'm trying to bring us to the right table for us to have a discussion, for us to bring our strength together. Now, this is an Ahmadiyya school. Their rules and regulations are different. It appears the Christian old students are having issues. I mean, at least up to this level, I can say something. They having issues as to how things are done, and that has affected our cordial relationship as old students, which is why we are not having the strength together as a way. And so we are doing something. I haven't gotten this, platform. At least I'm able to do something. As I speak with you, there are some 3 people that are on board who agree with me that we need to support the school as we're doing, and that very soon we'll come and see whether we can realize, we can ensure that we'll come together to address that issue, which is hindering the proper cooperation of all students. And so that is it. That's what I can say about the strength of all students as a body to support the school. But that we are not getting it. And so I'll hold on here and then tell you about what I am doing as an individual student, as a minister in charge of the region. So that's it. That's it.
Right. So, Honorable, what message do you have for the students and teachers of the school who actually feel overburdened right now?
Yes, they know I'm there with them. I come from Potsin. I stay there with them. Most of the teachers are my friends. Some of them, we all attended Ahmadiyya Secondary School. They just have to wait a little bit longer. A little bit longer, we will come back to the school and do what is needful. That doesn't mean that it all depends on the Honorable Minister. At best, what I can do is to ensure that what you do them from Ghana Education Service and for that matter, get funds, get to them. But as I said, let's all come together. I want to plead with the old students that let's put aside our differences. I know some kind of differences exist. So let's come together. If you look at what happened on our platform, our monitor platform, is that we are not together. If we're able to come together, there are those who have better strength, stronger strength than myself, though as a minister, to come and support us. So some are very important relationship with authority who can do something for us. So I'm going to continue to engage and ensure. In the meantime, I will be in the school by Tuesday to assess again, because when I went to get funds, they told me to come back to the school to do need assessment, and that's the procedure. That when you present your proposal, they come and see whether or not what you are saying is the right thing to do. And they have to expect that very soon they'll be there to do that.
All right. Thank you so much.
Eko Edumwa, he is the Central Regional Minister, and he joined us live, giving us updates in the school and what he, as a Central Regional Minister and a former MP, is doing about the situation in the Potsin TI Ahmadiyya. He's also an old student of the institution. But you can join us on call. We still have a lot of messages buzzing on our text console on our WhatsApp line, but you can join us 0302 784 969 0302 784 969. We would talk to you and you tell us what you make of the story so far from Balagono in the Dantra electoral area, where residents there are asking the authorities that will put us on the national grid, and also TI Ahmadiyya in Potsin, the students there, close to 3,000 students, are having issues. Gomwa Potsin.
I like the name. Anytime I drive past there and I see it, I'm excited. Gomwa Potsin.
What do you have on the messages?
Well, a number of messages coming in, and people are really concerned about the situation. I mean, Teresa from Tamale is saying that these are not problems students should be dealing with. Their focus should be on studying and passing. WAEC does not care what handicaps the students may be dealing with. This is not fair at all.
That part I think is very important.
Exactly like I was saying.
WAEC does not care.
No.
For the examination bodies do not really care about what the students are going through.
But we can expand this further. You expect that these same children will come out of school and compete with their counterparts on the international level.
It cannot work.
You understand? Children at this age are building robots and all. They are going to space. They are doing amazing things, innovations. But here in Gomwa Potsin, we've converted a classroom to a science lab. And we also saw the pictures there.
Yeah.
Even their test tubes and whatever. There's nothing to write home about it. You get it? And we expect that they will come out and compete.
With the big boys.
You understand? Even locally. Let's take it locally. This national science and maths quiz that we're doing.
Yeah.
You think Gomwa Potsin can compete with the bigger schools who have better facilities? So I think whatever. I mean, I intentionally pushed the minister on the old students thing.
Yeah.
Because over the period, we've seen the power of old students and their ability to uplift their schools, infrastructure-wise, PR-wise, even brand-wise. We've seen the amazing stuff old students are doing. Listen, old students are coming together, seeking sponsorship from corporate Ghana to develop their schools. And it's happening so beautifully. So I think whatever issues it is, be it religious or whatever, the growth of the school should supersede whatever concerns. So there should be a negotiation somewhere. Someone should compromise on something so that we can develop the school and make it a better place for the students who are there. Because like Teresa is saying, WAEC does not care.
Okay, hold on. We have Teresa from Kaswa who is joining us live on phone, and she is watching us. Hello, Teresa, how are you?
I'm
What do you have to make of the stories we've run so far? Which of them are you touching on in your comment?
Okay, I'm on CI Ahmadiyya because I was an old student there.
Okay.
As for the school, because it's an Ahmadiyya school, their rules are different, and the headmistress there too is not willing to take help from the old students. Because I remember that when we were there, some of the old students came to repair the school, but she didn't agree.
Right. Right.
Okay, so yeah, I get the picture. I mean, it's a religious school, right? And we know that they have their own structures that they follow. And it's just like I'm saying, we should be able to find a way to negotiate.
But
properly.
Theresa is still on the line. Theresa, so what is it the old students are doing about this situation? Is it that because the headmistress is not allowing you to do what you are supposed to do, or in terms of helping the school, you've also left it at that?
Because we cannot help because she's not willing to accept the help.
Exactly.
And that puts you in a difficult position.
What would you do?
If you
would you just barge
it?
into there and say, I must help?
Okay, Theresa, thank you. So that's Theresa there coming from her class. She says she's an old student, and the headmistress is not helping.
Right.
But that means there may be a problem.
I think because it's okay, I'm not sure, but in my own perspective, it might be warped with religion.
Yes, we know that a number of TI Ahmadiyya schools dotted
it
across
must be
the
warped
country,
with religion.
right?
So there's probably some religious policy that says, okay, you know what, we can't get help from this people.
But then
we
again, the assistant headmaster academics is complaining about the situation.
Yes, because
don't they go for management meeting?
So like we say, it's a religious school, but it's under the GES. Okay, so there's some government subvention to a point, right? So the assistant headmaster, if you listen to him carefully, was channeling all his requests to the GES, to the Ministry of Education, not to the Old Students Association.
Okay.
You get it? But like I'm saying, if the old students are within the ability to be able to help, right, they should be able to sit down with the authorities, come together, properly talk about the issues, because the issues are real. The students are going through it. You, the teachers yourself, you are going through it. The assistant headmaster just told us about the absence of bungalows for the teachers. You get it? Anyways, let's talk to Susie. Hi, Susie. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Right. Talk to us. What are you speaking on?
Show right now. I'm an old student of CI Ahmadiyya.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, 2009.
Okay.
Yeah. The fact is, the school is an Ahmadi school and a mission school. So when we were there, we were Christians. We were not having the full how would I even say, how to operate was mainly for the Muslims, and some of the things were restricted for us. And the headmistress, those times, they were not giving us a lot of encouragement that maybe when you complete, you want to come back and help the school because of what was going on in the school. So we, the old students, we want to help the school, but because of some of the things that have been going on, we came back and we started back.
Right.
So the school, a lot of things need to be changed. Management, they need to check the people, the headmistress, because of the school is an Ahmadi school. Everything is about the Muslims, and the Christians have just a little part of it.
Right. Okay, so
we need to check everything, like from the management, and restructure everything so that the old student that wants to help, we can come and help women.
Right. Thank you, Theresa.
Thank you so much.
All right, so now you see, it's not just an issue of, say, religion. This is also an issue of segregation.
Yeah.
So now those who feel burnt or those who felt burnt that time are just like, okay, you need us, we're not going to do this. And that's what the regional minister was saying, that things must have happened, but let's put it in the past.
Exactly. But it looks like to me that there's a split, right? There are those who feel bent and don't want to come back.
No, they don't even want to do it.
And there are those who actually want to help.
Do it,
but then the structures within the mission school protocols will not give them the opportunity to help. That's why I'm saying that. Well, there are several ways to kill a cat, right?
Yeah.
You can channel it through
the authority.
GES,
energy ministry.
Education ministry.
All right.
You get it.
Okay.
So let's see. I mean, I am concerned about the students in there. They should be priority.
Yeah.
And they should have the proper atmosphere, proper environment.
Right. All right. So we actually have Habiba from Kaswa who is joining us right now. Hi, Habiba.
Hi.
How are you doing? You're welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Please, I'm blessed and highly favored.
All right. So which of the topics do you want to contribute to?
Potsin TI Ahmadiyya Senior High.
Oh, seems like everybody wants to be on that topic. All right, let's go. Let's hear what you have to say.
I was once a student of that school.
Right.
But the headmistress, it seems, not to agree for us to help the school.
Okay.
The infrastructures there are very bad. It's not good at all.
Right.
But when you come back that you want to help the school, the headmistress says no. And that's very bad. It's not helping the school at all.
Does she say no with an explanation? What reasons does she give for saying no?
Reasons?
What reason does she give for saying no or rejecting your help?
She will be giving just some excuses not to agree to what we are saying.
Okay.
Then maybe we need to speak to the headmistress.
I was about saying
maybe
that.
we need to speak to the headmistress to find out.
Habiba,
exactly
thanks so much.
Thanks so much.
What's the issues?
Maybe there are plans in place for the school, but I think that the regional minister should know better, because he has also said that his house is just opposite the school, and that he's had sort of not so formal conversation with the management of the school. But if everybody is pointing hands at the headmistress,
then there's a bit of a
problem somewhere, and the headmistress maybe would have to engage her and find out from her the reason why she is not allowing old students,
as is being alleged
by the old students, help.
I'm sure we'll have a proper understanding when we do engage with the headmistress.
We also have another caller. Ishmael is on the line. Hello, why are you calling from, and what is the concern you want to share on our stories?
Yes, I'm calling from Kwame Danso.
Kwame Danso.
Yes, please.
Okay, which of our stories do you want to share your opinion on?
I want to touch on the TI Ahmadiyya issue.
Okay, let's hear your concern.
Please. Some things have been happening in most of the schools.
Okay.
The infrastructure problem, and sometimes it's not the matter of the headmasters or the headmistress, but it seems the management of the school has to collaborate. Some schools like this, the old students, they are not united. The old students are not united. So building of these infrastructures becomes a problem. What others are saying that the headmistress is not allowing them to build the schools or that. Sometimes it might not be because the old students are not united. You cannot start the infrastructure and leave it without completing it. That's my question.
Okay, are you an old student?
No, please.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So he's just sharing his view from Kwame Danso, and he's saying that though the headmistress may be a problem, the old students, maybe the unity that we allegedly is not amongst them. It's also another challenge that is not helping bring development to the school. But now it's with the education ministry. The minister, Haruna Idrisu, can take up this particular issue, since it's also in the Islamic field, so that he can go to the institution, find out the main reason why the headmistress is not allowing, say, old students to come to the school and develop the school, so that at least students will just heave a sigh of relief when they are learning and teaching is also going on.
All right, let's get some more perspectives. Let's speak to Sule. Sule is joining us via telephone. Good morning and thank you for calling us.
All right, thank you, sir.
Yes.
For giving me the opportunity.
Right. Well, which of the issues are you touching on? No electricity or no infrastructure?
Really, for infrastructure.
Right. Please go ahead.
Concerning talking about assistant headmistress, I think they should. You people should call, confront her, and then know what is the means of what is going on, so we can able to access whatever is wrong or whatever it is. So we can able to also donate something to help the school. Because I'm also concerned about certain.
Very well. Very well. Very well. Like we said, we need to engage her and find out exactly what the issues are. Yes.
Are you an old student of the school?
No, sir.
Okay.
Okay, Sule, thank you. And say hello to your children. We can hear them behind.
Yes, a concerned viewer there also trying to give his view about this, saying that, well, the headmistress should be engaged so that we will find the reason why she's not allowing all students to come in and develop the school. But like I was saying, if GES will go there, or the education ministry will take it up and go to the institution, the better.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's within their purview, and I'm sure they have eyes on this. Listen, they know where every single school is in this country, and they know in what state or in what condition every school is. You understand? They'll just do a needs assessment, how do you call it, work in the school to find out, okay, especially for Get Fund, right? They'll send their monitoring and evaluation officers to go there. They'll do a needs assessment, more like a project or evaluation. They'll know that, okay, currently per your population, it is a dormitory you need most at this time. Or you have this dormitory that you can split between these number of students. And so you need a classroom to facilitate teaching and learning. They'll do that and all that, and then they'll know what infrastructure to tackle first. But like I'm saying, the engagements should go on. Without the engagements, there will be no progress.
Right. Anyway, so we have Abubakar on the line. Hi, Abubakar.
Yeah, hello.
Good morning.
Morning.
All right, so which of the topics do you want to contribute to?
Please, about the school.
About the school. All right, let's hear it.
Yeah, please, the headmistress is a head problem of this all.
Okay. Why do you say so?
The head problem of this all, because as I remember, there was a time when this footballer, he came at 2 years. He came to the school saying with a petition that he wanted to build a park for us. He wanted to make it an astroturf.
Are you an old student?
Yeah, I'm an old student.
Okay.
Yeah, he came with a petition that he wants to build a park for us so that everything will be made an astroturf, but he denied. Because he said after it, her name will be placed on the astroturf, but he said no. He wants to put his name so that it will be part of his contribution to the school, and then he denied. So he's the main source. I don't know, he's the head of the...
All right, and sorry, this headmistress has been there for how long?
I think about 4 years, more than 4 years, like 5, 6, 7 years.
All right, and she denied Christiana Chu from building the AstroTurf because her name was not going to be on it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for contributing.
But for now, we can't substantiate all the...
Oh, yes, that's what I'm saying.
Allegations.
We'll have Calvis go back to the school and engage the headmistress. And so we can have a proper understanding, a better appreciation of all the things that are being said. But we have a few more messages,
yes,
right?
We have Evelyn from Dakuman. It's not even about the past 3 years, though, because I'm sure this issue has been existing for a long time. My heart goes out to all the teachers who still decide to teach and help the kids learn despite these conditions. God will reward you all. You are the ones who are truly raising the future leaders. Barima from Kolebu. So education system is an issue. Education infrastructure is problematic. Electricity feels like luxury. Water is downright a privilege at this point. And when we tell people to vote wisely, they look at us like we don't know what we are saying. Ayo.
Kwakumante from Tema says, see the roofing sheet. If the rain gets angry right now, that roof will come down and someone could get hurt. This one, if I was a student there, I wouldn't be interested in studying one bit. Regional Minister, please, we beg you to do something. Mubarak is texting from Tamale. He says, I am sure that desk in the video is older than me and has been broken since 1992. Me, I'm not shocked anymore. This is why when the kids grow up, they leave and never look back. Ghana has disappointed them massively. There's one from Sunyane Theophilus Kubi, says, old students are bro. They are now doing the work of the authorities and we see it all the time. Come and solve problems. You say one student, one laptop. Ghana, comedy song.
So Gerard Note from Ofanka, if you are privileged to go to a good school, just thank God, because look at what the people are going through at this time. I thank God for the privilege to attend a good school. And Kofi Mensah from Pantine. Example needs to be made out of whoever is responsible for this. You can't keep someone from accessing what they need to move on and just go scot-free. A scapegoat would help straighten out the people responsible for this. And yeah, those are your messages. Thank you for sending in your messages. Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, we've touched on two important issues this morning. The issue of connecting the people of
Balegono.
Yeah.
Quite an interesting name.
Yes.
Balegono.
Yeah.
I'm sure, well, there'll probably be an explanation to it. And when we spoke to the MP, he mentioned other names of communities in the
and other places in his constituency. That is Obum Domiabra constituency.
Interesting names in that area. But then the major issue is the lack of electricity, that the place has not been connected to the national grid. It's quite worrying, and we look forward to having the MP use his lobbying skills to actually get the place connected to the grid. This then will affect every single thing in the community. The economy of the community will go down because, like I gave examples, if someone is running a cold store in that area, there's no electricity, so they'll run it on a genset. On a genset, you need to buy fuel.
Right.
Anytime the fuel prices goes up, you would have to increase your prices.
And even the people also complained about theft.
Exactly.
People stealing their poles that they buy, or even the generator, they steal it and all that. So a permanent solution must be found, to this problem.
At the end of it, this is an issue of equity.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the community can, or the area, I don't know how they will feel knowing that we don't have light, but when they look at the neighboring
there's lights.
community or stuff like that. There is right, and you know this can't drive progress.
No,
this will never drive progress in the area.
Not at all.
It's just sad.
Yeah, indeed it is.
So we've done everything possible to get the headmistress of Potsin TI Ahmadiyya on phone so that we will engage her and find out the reason why she's not allegedly allowing all students to also add their quota to the development of the school. But all efforts have proven futile.
Right.
Hopefully, we'll get to her after, and then whatever it is, we'll really same to our audience because indeed the school needs the development, and I don't think any individual should stand in the way of that development. Let's put the needs of the students ahead of every other thing. Let's prioritize why the students are there to learn. Okay, they are there to engage in academic studies, not to think or carry the burden of where to sleep, what to eat, how to learn. No, theirs is to learn. So let's provide a conducive environment for them to be able to learn.
And also to add to it, I think it's important that anyone that still wants to help should not be discouraged from trying to help, because at the end of the day, we say the kids or children are the future of tomorrow. I mean, they're the leaders of tomorrow. You're not the leaders of the future. So if the leaders of the future are not, being protected right now or being cared for just because we feel a certain way towards someone or an institution, then we have a problem. We all have a problem, because I think it's a collective effort for us to actually help or carry those leaders of tomorrow. So if you're out there and you think that you can still help, you want to do something, and you say you're an old school student of that school, and it's really touching you to help, I think you should still, go out there and find ways that you can help. And like we said, we will try to reach out to the headmistress, and we will understand why, everybody that called sounded the way they did. Yeah.
And indeed, these challenges will not be restricted to the Potsin Ahmadiyya Senior High School only. There are other schools that are also going through similar situations.
I think the viewers can send it to us on our text line so that we can also follow up on challenges.
So, let's all commit to improving the lot of our students. The little you can do, go ahead, let's do it. But I think there's power in numbers. If we're able to come together and pool resources as a collective, we can do better. We can do better. Anyways, it's Friday. We need to let loose a little, you know what I'm saying? But we're going to go for a break. When we come back, there's music in the air. Enjoy.